Mira had always thought her house was ordinary. It was small, with white walls and a wooden floor that creaked when anyone walked across it. The kitchen was her favorite place because the morning sunlight fell through the window in golden streams. She loved to drink her tea there and watch the tiny birds peck at seeds outside. On that evening, Myra felt tired after a long day at work. She had spent hours helping students with science experiments at the school nearby. As she opened the kitchen door, something caught her attention immediately. The ceiling above the table was not flat. It had a bulge that Mira had never noticed before. At first she thought it was a trick of the light, but as she stepped closer, her heart started to beat faster. The bulge seemed soft yet firm, almost as if something was pushing from inside. It was not ordinary water damage or cracked plaster. It moved slowly, a gentle rising and falling like it had a pulse. Mira touched it lightly with her fingers, and a faint warmth spread under her hand. "What is this?" she whispered to herself. She looked around to see if there were signs of water or any animals. There were none. The kitchen smelled clean, like fresh paint mixed with the faint scent of herbs from the small plants she kept on the windowsill. Mira felt a strange mixture of fear and curiosity. Her mind raced with possibilities. Could it be a gas leak, a hidden animal, or something worse? She decided to call her neighbor Ral. Ral was a tall man with gentle eyes and a clever mind. He had repaired almost everything in the neighborhood, from leaking pipes to broken doors. Mira picked up the phone and explained what she had seen. Ral arrived within 10 minutes. He carried a toolbox and a flashlight. He was calm, but Mira noticed the way his eyes widened slightly when he saw the ceiling. "This is unusual," he said. "I have seen many things in my life, but nothing like this. It is not normal damage or moisture. Something is definitely inside." They both stared at the bulging ceiling in silence. Mira could feel her heart beat in her throat. She wanted to call the authorities, but something told her that they needed to investigate carefully before making a fuss. Ral nodded, understanding her thoughts. "Let me take a closer look," Ral said. He carefully climbed a small ladder and pressed his hands gently against the bulge. His fingers felt a soft vibration, almost like a heartbeat. He tapped it lightly with a small hammer. Instead of a solid sound, the ceiling made a gentle humming noise, almost musical. Myra's eyes widened. "What is that sound?" she asked, her voice trembling. "I don't know," Ral admitted. "It's not from any animal. It's not a machine I recognize. It feels alive in a strange way." Mira's fear mixed with wonder. She had always loved mysteries, reading books about space and ancient civilizations. But now, a real mystery was unfolding above her head, in her own kitchen. "Should we open it?" Mira asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Ral looked at her with a serious expression. "We need to be careful. We don't know what is inside, but if we leave it, it could be dangerous. We will open it slowly and see what we find." Mira nodded, trying to calm herself. Ral removed the ceiling panel carefully, using small tools to avoid breaking anything. As he lifted it, a soft glow poured into the kitchen. Myra shielded her eyes with her hand. The light was gentle, not harsh, but it seemed to have a color she could not name. It shimmered between gold and green. It's like sunlight on the surface of water. When the panel was fully removed, Mira and Ral gasped. Floating just above the ceiling space was a small metallic sphere. It was smooth and round, no larger than a grapefruit. It hovered in the air, spinning slowly, with tiny lights moving across its surface. The sphere gave off a soft hum, and the air around it felt warmer. Mira felt a shiver run down her spine. It's alive," Myra whispered, unable to look away. Ral shook his head. "I don't think it is alive in the normal sense, but it reacts to us. Watch this." He moved his hand closer, and the sphere shifted slightly, tilting toward him as if curious. Then it slowly rotated back, facing Mira. She could feel an odd connection, a pull that made her heart race. Mira stepped closer. "What is it? Where did it come from?" "I don't know," Ral admitted. "But I have never seen technology like this. Not in my life. Maybe it is not from here." The sphere pulsed gently and projected small symbols in the air. They were not letters or numbers, not anything Mira had seen in books or computers. The symbols glowed softly and moved as if they were alive. Mira reached out, and a soft vibration ran through her fingers. The symbols shifted, almost responding to her touch. "This is incredible," she breathed. Ral nodded. "We need to be careful. Whatever this is, it is powerful, and it is intelligent. We cannot ignore it." Mira's curiosity overcame her fear. "Should we tell someone?" Ral hesitated. "If we tell the authorities now, they might destroy it, or take it away before we understand. We need to learn what it is first. We need help, but help from someone who knows strange technology." Mira thought for a moment. Then she remembered her friend Sam, who studied old machines and technology that people often forgot. Sam loved to explore mysteries, even strange ones. "I will call Sam," Mira said. Reaching for her phone, within an hour, Sam arrived. He was smaller than Ral, with sharp eyes and quick hands. He wore a worn jacket covered in pockets filled with tools. The moment he saw the sphere, his eyes lit up. "This is not from Earth," Sam said, almost whispering. "I have studied ancient machines, prototypes from hidden labs, and even some extraterrestrial artifacts in old stories, but nothing like this. This is advanced. Far beyond anything humans made." The sphere seemed to react to Sam's voice. The lights on its surface blinked faster, and the symbols in the air shifted into new patterns. Myra felt a strange sensation, like the room itself was aware of their presence. Sam stepped closer. "It's scanning us. I think it is learning. It wants to communicate." Myra looked at Ral. "Communicate? How, I don't know yet," Sam admitted. "But I think it can project messages or images. Let me try something." He placed his hand near the sphere. The lights on the sphere formed a circular pattern and then projected a small doorway in the air, shimmering like a mirage. Mira and Ral stared in disbelief. "A door?" Mira asked, stepping closer. "Yes," Sam said. "It is a hidden chamber. Maybe it has existed for years and we just triggered it. Or maybe it created itself when we opened the ceiling. Either way, it wants us to go inside." Mira felt fear again, stronger this time. "What if it's dangerous?" Ral put a hand on her shoulder. "We will go slowly, together. If we face it carefully, we can understand it." Mira took a deep breath. She had spent her life learning, exploring, and teaching others. She knew that this moment could change everything she believed about the world. She nodded. Sam smiled. "Are you ready?" Mira and Ral both nodded. Sam stepped forward first, moving through the glowing doorway. Mira followed, feeling a strange warmth on her skin. Ral came last, steady and calm. The moment all three entered the chamber, the door shimmered and then disappeared. Inside, the air was soft and filled with a faint hum, almost like music. The walls were smooth, metallic, and glowing with symbols that seemed to float in midair. Mira reached out to touch one, and it shifted under her fingers, forming shapes she could recognize. Stars, planets, and cities. "It is showing us something," Sam said, awe in his voice. "I think it wants to teach us." Mira looked at the sphere, which hovered silently in the middle of the chamber. The light pulsed gently, almost like a heartbeat. She could feel it calling her, urging her to understand. For the first time, Mira realized that her life had changed forever. This was no ordinary discovery. It was the beginning of something much larger. Something that could change the way humans saw their place in the universe. She looked at Ral and Sam, her friends and companions in this strange adventure. Together, they stepped further into the chamber, ready to uncover its secrets. And above them, in the kitchen of an ordinary house, the ceiling remained silent, as if hiding the extraordinary story that had just begun. Mira, Ral, and Sam stood in the glowing chamber, their eyes wide with wonder. The walls shimmered softly, reflecting colors that shifted like liquid light. The air was warm, but not uncomfortable. It carried a faint hum, like the vibration of something alive but gentle. The sphere floated in the center, spinning slowly, its lights moving in patterns that seemed to respond to their presence. Mira felt a shiver of excitement run down her spine. "This place is incredible," Mira whispered. It feels alive. Raul ran his fingers along one of the smooth walls. It is not just alive. It is intelligent. Look at the way it reacts to us. It changes whenever we move or speak. Sam knelt to examine the floor. It was clean and metallic, but he noticed faint lines etched into it. They formed patterns, almost like circuits, and they glowed faintly when he touched them. These lines, he said, they carry energy. This chamber is powered by something advanced, something we do not understand yet. It is not from this time or this world. Mira felt her heart pound. She had always read stories about ancient travelers from other worlds, machines that could think and messages left for humans to discover in the future. But standing here, in her small kitchen turn chamber, it felt real. And for the first time, she wondered if humans were ready for what they might find. The sphere pulsed brighter, as if sensing her thoughts. Mira stepped closer. "It wants us to understand it," she said softly. "I feel like it is trying to communicate." Sam nodded. "I think so too, but not in words. It shows patterns, symbols, and images. We need to pay attention to every detail." Raul looked around the room. The sphere is in the center. Maybe it is the key to understanding everything here. Let us see what happens when we move closer. They approached the sphere together. As they did, the lights on its surface rearranged themselves into tiny constellations. Mira could recognize some familiar shapes of stars, but others were strange, unlike anything she had ever seen. The walls reflected the same constellations. Forming a three-dimensional map, "It is showing us the universe," Sam said. "Not just our solar system. This is a map of stars, planets, and perhaps civilizations we have never known." Mira reached out tentatively. The moment her fingers neared the sphere, a soft pulse ran through her hand. It was neither electric nor magnetic, but a feeling of warmth and connection. A small doorway appeared on the far side of the chamber, shimmering like water in sunlight. Raul stepped forward slowly. "Another door? This chamber is larger than it looks. It wants us to go deeper," Mira swallowed nervously. "Deeper. What if we are not ready?" Sam smiled, though there was a hint of awe in his eyes. "We are here. That is reason enough. This sphere chose us, not by accident. It will guide us." Together they moved toward the shimmering doorway. The moment they stepped through, the air changed. It became cooler, with a faint metallic scent, like a machine that had been running for centuries. The walls here were taller, lined with panels covered in strange symbols. As Mira walked closer, she realized the symbols were moving. They rearranged themselves as she looked, forming shapes that resembled buildings, vehicles, and creatures she had never seen. Sam knelt to examine the panels. These symbols are a form of language. Not letters or numbers, but images that convey meaning. The sphere projects them in response to our presence. It wants us to understand, to learn. Mira felt a thrill of curiosity. She stepped closer to one panel and placed her hand on it. Instantly, the symbols shifted, forming a vision of a distant city under a purple sky. Towering buildings glowed softly, and strange flying machines moved between them. People, or beings that looked like humans, walked along the streets. Mira blinked in wonder. "It is showing us history," she whispered. "Or maybe the future." Raul studied another panel. "Or knowledge from another world. Look at this." He touched the panel, and a map of stars appeared, connecting planets with lines that pulsed gently. It seems to show routes, travel paths, maybe trade or exploration paths. Whoever created this chamber wanted someone to understand this knowledge. Mira felt a sense of awe mixed with responsibility. This was more than just a discovery. It was a message, a gift, perhaps even a warning. The sphere floated closer to her and pulsed brightly, as if confirming her thought. She stepped back, her mind racing with questions. What is it trying to tell us? She asked. Sam ran his fingers over the symbols again. "I think it is guiding us. It wants us to learn. Maybe it wants us to act. There is intelligence here, a purpose. This is not just a machine. It is a teacher." Raul nodded. "Then we must be careful and patient. This chamber is ancient, but it chose this moment to reveal itself. We cannot rush it. We need to observe, understand, and follow its guidance. Mira felt a strange pull toward the center of the room. The sphere floated closer, and as it did, a panel on the wall lit up fully. Words appeared in a language she could understand, simple and clear. Observe, learn, protect. Mira read the words aloud. Observe, learn, protect. That must be the purpose. Sam frowned thoughtfully. Observe and learn is easy, but protect? Protect what? Or whom? Ral studied the room. Perhaps it will reveal that as we go further. We cannot know everything at once. The chamber worked slowly, revealing itself piece by piece. As they explored, Mira noticed a small compartment in one corner of the room. She opened it carefully. Inside was a small, thin device that looked like a tablet. It was smooth, metallic, and warm to the touch. Symbols glowed on its surface. When Mira touched it, the tablet projected a holographic image of a star system. A calm voice, mechanical but gentle, began to speak. Humans, it said. We are observers from a time long past. We traveled across the stars, seeking civilizations with potential. Your species shows great resilience, intelligence, and courage. This chamber holds knowledge to guide you when the moment comes. You are the first to awaken the seed. Learn well. Protect what is precious. Mira stepped back, her eyes wide. Did it just speak to us? Ral nodded slowly. Yes, and it is calling us humans, not by name, but by nature. It has watched us and judged us worthy. Sam looked at the holographic map. It mentions a seed. That must be the sphere. It is more than just an object. It is a guide, a repository of knowledge and memory. The sphere pulsed softly, almost as if agreeing. Mira felt her heart swell with wonder. She had never imagined anything like this could exist, hidden in her own home. Suddenly, the chamber shivered slightly. A soft vibration ran through the floor. Mira grabbed Rel's arm instinctively. What is happening? She asked, her voice trembling. Sam examined the sphere. I think it is responding to a signal. Maybe it senses something beyond this planet. Something approaching. The chamber reacts only when conditions are met. We were chosen at the right time. Mira felt a chill. Chosen? For what? Ral put a hand on her shoulder. We will find out. The chamber will show us. For now, we need to stay calm and observe. It is guiding us. We follow its lead. As they continued to explore, Mira noticed another doorway at the far end of the room. Unlike the first, this one was closed and pulsing with faint blue light. The sphere floated toward it, spinning faster. Symbols projected from its surface, showing images of a dark object moving through space. Approaching a planet that looked like Earth, Mira felt a surge of fear. Is that Earth? She whispered. Sam studied the symbols. Yes, and that object. It looks like some kind of probe or drone. It could be dangerous. The chamber is warning us. Ral nodded. Then the seed's purpose is clear. We are meant to learn and prepare. This knowledge is not just for curiosity. It is for protection. Mira took a deep breath. Her hands trembled slightly, but her mind felt alive with determination. Then we must understand it. We cannot ignore this. The sphere pulsed brighter, and the holographic images expanded, showing detailed instructions in symbolic form. Machines, energy flows, shields, and patterns appeared. Mira realized that the chamber was giving them the tools to act, to prepare for whatever was coming. We have work to do, she said. We must study this, understand it, and be ready. Ral nodded, his eyes steady. Then we start, step by step. Observe, learn, protect. The three of them gathered around the sphere and the holographic projections. The room hummed with energy, and Mira felt a sense of purpose she had never known before. The chamber had awakened them, chosen them, and now it guided them. Mira, Ral, and Sam remained in the chamber, their eyes fixed on the glowing sphere. The hum in the air seemed to grow louder, almost as if it were speaking directly to them. Myra's heartbeat was fast, but she felt a strange calm, too, a sense that they were not alone. The chamber had chosen them for something important. Sam traced the symbols on the floor. Following the glowing lines that pulsed gently beneath their feet, "These symbols are more than maps or instructions," he said. "They're a language, but not like anything we know. The chamber is trying to communicate a story." Mira leaned closer to the sphere. Its light shifted, forming shapes of distant stars and strange structures that looked like cities. Then the calm, mechanical voice began to speak again, this time longer and more detailed. "Humans," the voice said. "Long ago, we traveled across the stars. We observed your species and its potential. You are resilient, adaptable, and capable of unity in ways few civilizations can achieve. We leave this seed to guide you. It contains knowledge and instructions for when your world faces challenges that exceed current understanding. Learn from it. Protect what is precious. Prepare for what is to come." Raoul stepped back, his eyes wide. "It has been watching us for centuries, maybe millennia. And now, at the right moment, it has awakened." Mira's mind raced. "It mentions challenges. What kind of challenges? Why us? Why now?" Sam pointed to a new panel that had lit up on the wall. "Look, it shows a dark object approaching a planet. That planet is Earth. The object is large and mechanical. It moves silently, but with purpose. The chamber is warning us that danger is near. We are being chosen to act." Mira felt a shiver run through her body. "A machine? Coming to Earth?" Raoul nodded gravely. "Yes, and it seems intelligent. This chamber and the seed exist to prepare us. We cannot ignore it." The sphere floated closer to Myra, pulsing softly. She reached out her hand, and the symbols shifted into patterns that she could begin to understand. Buildings, energy flows, and protective structures appeared in holographic form. Myra realized that the chamber was giving them instructions to defend themselves. To protect their world, Sam leaned closer, studying the images. "These are designs for energy shields, communication devices, and detection systems. The chamber is showing us how to use what we have on Earth to defend against this object. But it is not simple. It will require knowledge, coordination, and human determination." Mira nodded slowly, her fear mixing with determination. "Then we must learn it. Step by step. We cannot fail." The sphere pulsed brighter, projecting a detailed map of the approaching object. It rotated in the air, showing segments and compartments, each glowing faintly. "It is a collector," Myra whispered, almost to herself. "It gathers civilizations. It destroys what it does not understand." Raoul studied the map. "Then time is limited. We have to prepare. The chamber is showing us everything we need. Energy flows, materials, even timing. We just have to follow it carefully." Sam pointed to a panel that displayed moving lines connecting Earth to the approaching object. "These lines show interaction, almost like a timeline. The seed knows when the object will arrive and how it moves. We can use this information to prepare defenses and protect ourselves." Mira felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. For years, she had been an ordinary teacher, guiding young minds and helping students understand science. Now, she was being asked to prepare for an event that could threaten the entire planet. Her hands trembled slightly, but her mind was sharp and focused. "We need a plan," she said. "We cannot do this alone." "Raoul, you know the neighborhood and local systems. Sam, you understand technology. I will coordinate communication and preparation. We must start now." Raoul nodded, agreed. "We begin here in the chamber, learning everything the seed can teach us. Then we move to the outside world to apply it." The sphere pulsed gently and projected a new vision. This time it showed a network of energy grids, flowing from one location to another. Myra could see how electricity, solar panels, and even underground energy lines could connect to create a protective shield. Sam studied it closely. It is possible. With coordination and human effort, We could generate a field strong enough to block or confuse the collector. But it requires precision. One mistake and it could fail? Myra's eyes hardened with resolve. Then we must not make mistakes. The chamber chose us, and we will succeed. The sphere floated higher and projected a sequence of symbols in the air. Mira realized that these symbols represented steps in construction, timing, and energy flow. They were complex, but with patience and focus, she could follow them. Raoul ran his fingers along one line. This is energy distribution. If we set it up according to these symbols, the shield will work. We have the knowledge. Now we need the materials and manpower.
Almira
Felt a spark of hope. We have neighbors, friends, and people who can help. If we work together, we can build this shield. This is humanity's moment to rise. The chamber hummed in approval, the sphere glowing brighter, as if sensing her determination. Symbols shifted into new forms, showing simulations of the shield protecting the earth. Mira, Raoul, and Sam watched as the vision displayed energy flowing around the planet. Deflecting the collector's approach, Sam studied it carefully. It is teaching us strategy, not just technology. We need to coordinate our actions globally. The seed has given us the tools, but humans must act together to succeed. Amira nodded. Then we start small. Our neighborhood, our city. If we can create a working prototype, we can expand it. Every person contributing their energy and skills will make a difference. Raoul smiled slightly. It is extraordinary. The seed believes in humans, even more than we sometimes believe in ourselves. We must honor that trust. The sphere floated closer to Myra and pulsed one last time. Words appeared in clear human language. Humanity rises when it unites. Protect, adapt, learn, and teach. The path is open. Choose courage. Mira felt tears in her eyes. She had never felt so connected to a purpose in her life. She looked at Raoul and Sam, her friends and companions, and nodded. We will do this together. Humanity will rise. Sam grinned. Then let's begin. First, we learn everything the chamber can teach us. Then, we prepare the defenses. Time is short, and the collector approaches. Raoul checked the panels and the lines of energy. We need to understand energy flow, timing, and coordination. The chamber provides knowledge, but humans must execute it perfectly. We cannot afford errors. Mira and Sam nodded. They began studying each projection carefully, memorizing every symbol and movement. The sphere floated between them, guiding their hands and movements. Mira touched the panels, tracing the patterns and shapes. Each pulse of light taught her a new detail about energy distribution. Shield generation and timing. Hours passed, but it felt like minutes. They were absorbed in learning, their minds working as one with the sphere. Mira could feel the connection growing stronger, as if the chamber recognized their determination and courage. Then the sphere projected a new vision. This time, it showed humans working together across cities, connecting energy grids and creating protective fields. The collector approached, but the shields held. Humanity adapted, learned, and united. Mira felt a thrill of hope. This was possible. They could succeed, Raoul whispered. It shows the potential, Mira. If we act, humanity can survive and thrive. The chamber believes in us, and we must believe in ourselves. Mira nodded, determination shining in her eyes. We will make it happen. One step at a time. We learn first, then we act. Nothing will stop us. The sphere pulsed gently, and the chamber seemed to hum in agreement. Mira, Raoul, and Sam stood together, ready to face the challenge ahead. They had knowledge, purpose, and courage. And most importantly, they had each other above them. In the ordinary kitchen of Mira's house, the ceiling remained quiet, holding the extraordinary secrets of the chamber. Outside, the world moved unaware, but soon it would need every human's strength, intelligence, and unity. For Mira, Raoul, and Sam, the journey had only just begun. They had awakened the seed, learned its message, and prepared to protect their world. And the stars above seemed to shine brighter, as if watching and waiting for humanity to rise. Mira, Ral, and Sam had spent days in the hidden chamber, learning from the glowing sphere. Each projection taught them something new: energy flows, shield patterns, communication links, and strategies for defense. They had memorized the symbols, traced the lines of energy, and discussed every detail carefully. Myra's mind was sharp, her determination growing stronger with each passing moment. She understood now that this was no ordinary lesson. Humanity's survival depended on what they learned here. As the sun rose one morning, the sphere pulsed brightly, signaling a new message. The calm, mechanical voice spoke again, slower this time, as if emphasizing the urgency. The collector approaches. Its path is calculated. It will arrive soon. Humanity must prepare, observe, learn, and protect. Act wisely. Aurel ran his fingers over the panels. The time has come. The object is almost here. Have to start building the shield, even if we only have a prototype. Every second counts. Mira nodded. We need help. Alone we cannot cover even our neighborhood. But with friends, neighbors, and local authorities, we can create something strong enough to test the chamber's instructions. Sam checked the projections again. The chamber shows a series of nodes. Each node is a source of energy. If we connect them correctly, the shield will stabilize. We can begin with our power grid and expand outward. The collector will not expect human coordination on this scale. That is our advantage. Myra felt a surge of hope and fear together. Then we begin now. We cannot wait. Every hour matters. They left the chamber carefully, closing the ceiling panel behind them. To the outside world, Mira's kitchen looked ordinary again, but inside, the knowledge they carried was extraordinary. They contacted neighbors, explaining the situation without causing panic. Most people were skeptical at first, but Mira's determination and Sam's technical explanations convinced them to help. Slowly, a small team formed, ready to act. Ral guided them through the local energy grid, pointing out which nodes they could use for the shield. Sam distributed tasks, showing how to connect lines, calibrate energy flows, and monitor the shield's stability. Myra coordinated communication, making sure everyone understood their role. The team worked tirelessly, following the chamber's instructions precisely as they worked. Mira noticed the sky growing darker. A strange shadow moved across the stars. She pointed it out, and Sam quickly confirmed. The collector is near. It is faster than anything we expected. We have less time than the chamber predicted. Fear threatened to take hold, but Mira pushed it aside. We cannot stop. Focus on the work. Every connection, every energy flow, every node matters. Humanity depends on it. Hours passed, and the shield began to take form. Small arcs of energy traced lines through the neighborhood, connecting buildings, poles, and power sources. The sphere floated above the center, pulsing gently, guiding their hands and correcting mistakes. Myra felt its presence as if it were alive, watching, teaching, and encouraging them. Suddenly, a low hum vibrated through the ground. The collector had arrived. It moved silently, but its size was enormous, far larger than any building Mira had ever seen. Its surface reflected the stars, but it emitted no sound except a soft mechanical vibration. The team froze for a moment, fear striking them, but Mira took a deep breath. Focus, she said firmly. We have prepared for this. Follow the instructions. The chamber chose us. Trust it and trust yourselves. Ral nodded, adjusting a node. Energy flow is stable. We only need to maintain focus and connect the final links. Sam monitored the shield, his eyes sharp. The collector is testing us. Its systems are scanning our networks. But the shield is functioning. It is confusing its sensors. If we continue, it will not understand our structure or coordination. Mira's hands moved quickly, connecting wires, adjusting energy flows, and checking nodes. Each pulse of the sphere guided her movements. She felt a strange rhythm, a heartbeat of knowledge, linking her mind with the chamber's wisdom. Slowly the shield expanded, forming a dome of energy over the neighborhood. It glowed faintly, shimmering against the approaching collector. The collector slowed, its sensors detecting the shield. Small probes extended from its surface, scanning. but they could not penetrate the energy barrier. The sphere pulsed brightly, projecting new instructions. Mira followed them carefully, adjusting nodes, rerouting energy, and stabilizing weak points. Raoul whispered, "It is reacting, but it does not understand." The chamber predicted this. "We are proving its calculations correct." Mira's heart raced. "Then we continue. We cannot fail now. Humanity is counting on us." The collector moved closer, its surface glowing faintly with internal energy. Its massive structure seemed almost alive, but the shield held firm. Mira could see that it was confused, unable to interpret the coordination of energy nodes and human effort. The sphere pulsed again, projecting new visual instructions, showing how to expand the shield further, linking neighboring blocks and nearby buildings. Sam worked quickly, connecting the extra nodes. "If we extend the shield, we can stabilize it further and confuse its systems completely. The collector cannot adapt to human unity. That is our strength." Mira nodded, her determination unshakable. "Then we extend it. Every hand, every person, every connection matters." The team worked together, moving with speed and precision. Mira could see the collector's surface flicker as if trying to calculate their actions, but failing. It did not understand the cooperation, the unity, and the determination of humans. The shield expanded, its energy arcs forming a complex network that covered more than just the neighborhood. Raoul smiled, his eyes steady. The chamber's knowledge is perfect. Humanity is rising just as it predicted. We are proving that unity. An intelligence can overcome even the most advanced threat. Mira felt a surge of hope. We can do this. We are doing this. The collector will not take us by surprise. Suddenly, the collector emitted a pulse of energy, striking the shield. The team staggered under the vibration, but the shield held firm. Mira adjusted the energy flows following the sphere's guidance, and the arcs strengthened. The collector pulsed again, more intensely, but each time the shield absorbed and redirected the energy. Sam grinned, despite the tension. "It is adapting to us, but it is too slow. We are faster, smarter, and united. That is what it cannot overcome." Mira felt the warmth of the sphere in her mind, guiding her, teaching her, giving her strength. She could see the paths of energy, the weak points, and the ways to reinforce them. Slowly, carefully, she adjusted each node. Ensuring that the shield remained stable, Raoul worked alongside her, connecting final nodes, while Sam monitored the collector's reactions. "It is retreating," Sam said. "Its sensors cannot penetrate the shield. It is confused. Humanity's effort is overwhelming it." Mira watched the massive machine slowly move away, unable to adapt to the energy network humans had created. The sphere pulsed one last time, brighter than ever, projecting a final message. Humanity rises when it unites. Protect, adapt, and learn. You have proven yourselves worthy. Tears welled in Mira's eyes. She looked at Raoul and Sam, exhausted but victorious. They had faced an unimaginable threat and survived. The chamber had guided them, but their courage, determination, and unity had made the difference. Raoul smiled gently. "We did it. Humanity stood strong. The chamber's knowledge and our actions together made the shield work." Mira nodded, feeling a sense of pride and purpose. "Yes, and this is just the beginning," the chamber showed us. "The path, but humans must continue to learn, prepare, and protect. This is what it means to rise." Sam looked at the sphere, now floating quietly in the center. "It will remain here, waiting for the next moment, the next challenge. And humanity will continue to grow, stronger each time." The team stepped back, letting the energy arc stabilize fully. The collector had retreated beyond sight, and the neighborhood was safe. Mira felt a profound sense of accomplishment, knowing that their world had been protected not by chance, but by courage, intelligence, and unity. The sphere pulsed gently, its glow fading slightly as if resting. Mira touched it one last time. "Thank you," she whispered. "We will not forget this lesson. We will protect our world, always." Raoul placed a hand on her shoulder. "We will. Humanity has risen today, and the chamber has shown us the way. Outside, the sky returned to its normal appearance, stars shining as usual. The world remained unaware of the silent battle that had just occurred above a small neighborhood. But Mira, Rael, and Sam knew the truth. They had faced a cosmic threat and had prevailed. They had learned that when humans work together, when they observe, learn, and protect, no force could overwhelm them. And above them, in the ordinary kitchen ceiling, the hidden chamber remained quiet, waiting for the next moment humanity would need it. Mira looked at her friends and smiled. We have survived, but we have also learned. The chamber has shown us that we are capable of so much more than we ever imagined. Humanity rises when it unites, and today we proved it. Rael nodded, his eyes steady. Yes, and tomorrow we continue. Prepare, we learn, and we protect. The future depends on it. Sam smiled, feeling the weight of the lesson, but also the thrill of success. Then, let us move forward. Together we have faced the threat, and we have won. Humanity is stronger because of it. The sky above Myra's neighborhood had returned to its calm, starry state, but the air still hummed with energy. The shield they had built, following the chamber's guidance, was still active, maintaining a protective dome over the area. Mira, Rael, and Sam stood together in the kitchen, which now felt ordinary again, yet they knew it contained the extraordinary chamber hidden above. Their hearts were still racing from the battle, but the sense of victory and responsibility filled them. Determination. Mira looked at Rael and Sam. We protected our home. We followed the chamber's guidance, and it worked. But this is not the end. We must continue to prepare, learn, and teach others. Rael nodded. Yes. Today we learned that humans can rise when they work together. But we also learned that the universe is vast, and threats can appear at any time. We must be ready. Sam adjusted the sphere, hovering gently in the kitchen. The chamber gave us knowledge, tools, and strategy. But it also showed us something more important. Humanity's strength lies in unity, courage, and intelligence. That is what protected us today. The team decided to expand their efforts. They contacted more neighbors, explaining the events carefully, without causing fear. Myra took the lead in teaching them how to manage energy nodes, maintain the shield, and monitor unusual activity. People were hesitant at first, but when they saw the glowing energy arcs and the sphere pulsing gently, they understood the importance. Slowly, a larger network formed, connecting homes, schools, hospitals, and other buildings. Each node contributed to the growing shield, symbol of human cooperation. As they worked, the sphere projected new instructions. This time, the focus was not only on defense, but also on learning and understanding. The panels showed simulations of different scenarios, objects approaching Earth from space, extreme weather events, and technological challenges. Mira realized that the chamber's purpose was to teach humans to observe, adapt, and protect, no matter the form of threat. We are not just defending ourselves, Mira said. We are learning how to survive, how to grow, and how to rise stronger. This knowledge is for everyone, not just us. Rael smiled. It is a lesson for humanity. The chamber has trusted us with this knowledge. We must share it wisely. Sam focused on the energy flows, adjusting the network to ensure stability. The collector was only one threat. There will be others in time. But today, we proved that humans can act together faster and smarter than any machine. That is what makes us strong. Days passed, and the shield network expanded beyond their neighborhood. Local authorities became aware of unusual energy activity, and Mira worked carefully to explain the situation without causing panic. Scientists and engineers joined, amazed by the technology they were learning from the chamber. With each connection, the shield grew stronger. Humans began to understand the value of cooperation, focus, and courage. Myra often returned to the kitchen, standing beneath the hidden chamber. She touched the ceiling panel lightly, feeling the pulse of the sphere above. Each pulse reminded her of the responsibility they carried, the lessons they had learned, and the potential of humanity. One evening, as the team monitored the energy network, a new projection appeared from the sphere. This time, it showed a vision of Earth from space. Energy shields glowed across cities, linking people together. Human beings moved with purpose, working in harmony. The collector appeared in the distance but could not penetrate the network. Mira felt a thrill of hope and pride. Humanity was learning, adapting, and standing strong. Ral studied the projection. The chamber shows that cooperation is the key. Machines, natural events, or any challenge cannot overcome humans who are united and determined. That is the ultimate lesson. Mira nodded. We must continue to teach, connect, and strengthen. This is not just a shield against objects from space. It is a lesson for all of humanity to rise, adapt, and protect. We are witnesses to a new beginning. Humans are capable of so much more than they realize. The chamber chose us to awaken this potential. Today, we have begun a journey that will change the world. The next weeks were filled with activity. Communities connected energy nodes. Schools shared knowledge about the chamber's teachings, and scientists studied patterns projected by the sphere. Mira, Ral, and Sam became leaders in this effort, not for power, but for guidance. Every human contribution strengthened the shield and strengthened the spirit of unity that the chamber had inspired. One night, Myra stood outside, looking at the stars. The sky seemed calm, but she knew that threats could appear again. She felt a quiet strength within herself. "We are ready," she whispered. "We have learned, we have acted. We will protect humanity." Ral joined her, his eyes on the distant horizon. "And we will continue to prepare. The chamber has given us knowledge, but it is humans who make it real. Courage, unity, and intelligence, that is what will guide us." Sam came next, carrying a small tablet that projected the sphere's latest instructions. The chamber shows future possibilities, challenges, events, and opportunities. If we act wisely, humanity will rise stronger every time. Today, we proved it can be done. Amira smiled. We will teach others. We will strengthen the network. Every person who joins adds to humanity's strength. Together, we are unstoppable. Days turned into weeks, and the shield network became a symbol of hope and cooperation. The chamber remained hidden above the kitchen, quiet but alive, guiding them subtly. Mira often returned, listening to the soft hum of the sphere, feeling its wisdom and reassurance. One evening, as Mira, Ral, and Sam monitored the shield, the sphere projected its final message: humanity rises when it unites. Protect, adapt, learn, and teach. Your courage, intelligence, and unity are your greatest strengths. Use them wisely, and the universe will recognize your potential. The path is open. Continue forward. Mira felt tears in her eyes. She had never imagined that an ordinary life could lead to such extraordinary responsibility. She looked at Ral and Sam, exhausted but proud. "We did it," she said softly. "We protected our home, and we began a new path for humanity." Ral nodded, his expression calm and confident. "Yes, and we will continue. Today we have learned what it means to rise. Tomorrow, humanity will face new challenges, but we are ready. We have the chamber, the knowledge, and the courage to act." Sam smiled, feeling the weight of the journey, but also the thrill of achievement. "We have shown that humans can adapt faster, act smarter, and work together stronger than any threat. That is the legacy we carry forward." Mira looked at the glowing lines of energy still visible across the neighborhood. Each node, each connection, each person contributing to the shield was a reminder that humans were not alone. Together, they had created something extraordinary. The chamber had awakened humanity's potential, and they had proved it could be realized. Outside, the stars shone as usual, but to Myra, they seemed brighter. As if acknowledging humanity's rise, she felt a sense of calm, strength, knowing that no matter what came next, humans could face it with courage, unity, and intelligence. The sphere floated silently in the chamber above the kitchen, its lights pulsing gently. It had fulfilled its purpose, but it remained, waiting for the next challenge, ready to guide those who were willing to learn. Mira, Ral, and Sam had been chosen, but they had also chosen to act, to protect, to rise with humanity. Mira closed her eyes for a moment and whispered, "We will continue. We will protect, learn, and teach. Humanity rises, and we are ready for whatever comes next." Ral placed a hand on her shoulder. "We will face the future together. We have proven what humans can do. Courage, unity, and intelligence will always guide us." Sam nodded, looking at the glowing energy network. "And the world will remember this. The shield, the chamber, and the courage of ordinary humans have changed the course of history. We have begun a new era." Mira looked around at the neighborhood, at the energy nodes glowing softly in the night, and felt a sense of pride that words could not express. They had faced the unknown, followed the chamber's guidance, and stood strong. Humanity had risen, and the journey of learning, adapting, protecting had only just begun. Above the kitchen, the hidden chamber pulsed softly, alive with knowledge and wisdom. It had chosen humanity, and humanity had answered with courage and unity. Myra, Ral, and Sam knew that the universe was vast and filled with challenges, but they also knew that humans were ready to face them. Together, and so under the calm night sky, with stars shining and energy arcs glowing across the city, humanity stood strong, united, and ready. The chamber had awakened the potential within them, and they had proven that ordinary people could achieve extraordinary things. The story of courage, unity, and intelligence would continue, guiding humans to rise higher. Protect what is precious and face the future with unwavering determination.